Good morning, um, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We want to welcome you to SKTV. Welcome to the show. Welcome, welcome, and welcome. I want to welcome each and every one of you. Today is Monday, April 25th. We'd like to welcome each and every one of you um, to the show today. Welcome. If you're just joining us or just following us, you're watching SKTV. Let's share the show. Invite someone. A lot to talk about, a lot to uncover, a lot to unpack today. We got a lot to talk about. Let me put it that way. We get plenty thing to talk. plenty thing to talk. Like we get. We'll talk plenty thing here today. Please share the show, guys. Share the show. It's been a little difficult and challenging for us here at SKTV because the people try to hack the show more than once. So let's share the show. Let's share the show. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot to talk about. A lot to talk about. Just a lot to talk about. Please share the show. Since the people decided or tried to hack us, it's been a little difficult and concerning. Share the show. Share the show, please, while you invite someone. We have a lot to talk about. Yes. We have a lot to talk about. A lot. Today, a lot to talk about in other news. We have a lot to talk about. So let's share the show. Invite other people. A lot to talk about. Today it's promising that the show, looking at the show, will be noisy today because there's a lot to talk about, a lot to cover. What is the state of the nation, Liberia, especially before 2023? What is the state of the nation? Let's share the show, ladies and gentlemen. Many of you have been complaining that you don't get an alert. So we'd like you to please help us to share the show because there is a lot to cover. So help us share the show. A lot to talk about today. I'm excited. I'm thrilled. It's been a long weekend, a long week. But let's share the show. Let's invite other people. Let's remind and inform other people about the show. Again, a lot of complaints. We are working on it, guys. We are working on it. We know it's been difficult for some of us or some of you. You don't get the notification. Many of you have reached out. We're working on it. Please help us in the meantime. Share the show while we are doing this. We have a lot to talk about. In other news today, we'll talk about some things. We will talk about some things. No, I'm hiding from you. What? I want to hide where? I'm not hiding from you. Sorry, I will call you. I'm calling you right after the show. I'm calling you. It's just been a little busy. Let's share the show in the meantime, guys. Again, we have a lot to talk about. There's been a lot going on. There is a lot going on. In other news today, I will call you. And today, I'll so behave on the show. So long you hear I behave. We already know the code. I'm well behaved. I gotta behave myself, my people. I can't say certain things. I can't do certain things. Yeah. Yeah, the notification. Yeah, I know the notification has been um, very hard to get. Ruth, I know. Last time you were one of the people that complained openly about you not getting the notification. We are working on it, guys. We are working on it. A lot of things happening. Things are moving very fast and speedily, very fast and speedily, more than you expected. It's not easy. It is not easy, but let's please help us to share the show. I'd like to start off, as always, to thank you for tuning in. Today is Monday, the 25th of April, 2022. Welcome to SKTV, each and every one of you. welcome. I am 70% sure our co-host Telvi will be joining us at some point. She's working on some things in the back end there. Today is very beautiful, very nice day here in Arizona. The sun, I can see the sun from here. The sun is shining. Very nice out there, very nice weather. It's not that hot. We want to welcome all of you to Phoenix, Arizona next month, the 21st. We're having the inauguration. You're welcome to Phoenix. Welcome. But let's talk about the Liberian politics. We want to welcome each and every one of you, those of you watching us from Europe, Asia, the Americas, especially those watching us from Liberia. Those of you who, those of you who are burning your data, we know how hard it is, especially in these times. Thank you for being committed. Thank you for sharing the show. Thank you for inviting other people. Let's invite others. Let's share the show, guys. We've been hyped, so it's been a little difficult for us to move forward. We got some trending news, some trending information to bring to you, some inside scoops. Today about the show will be noisy. We'll have the opportunity to open the lines for you to call. We have a lot of things to talk about. We'll open the line for you to call at some point in time. We try to run in time here with our schedule. So again, we're excited to be here. A lot of things are happening. The dynamics changing. Things are going to change very fast in Liberia. 2023 election. As you can see on the headline, what is the state of the nation in Liberia, and especially before the 2023 elections? We'll talk about that. We would also like to welcome you, as always. We'd like to welcome you, the Liberian people, as the most important people on earth, as we'll always say on SKTV. But most importantly, I want to reference the Liberian women. They are the most beautiful women on earth. Whether you like it or not, that one I business gets there, but I won't, but I true. Liberian women are the most beautiful women on earth. Let's do some quick recognition here before we get to sharing the show and move on. A lot of things to talk about. Sekuku John Oath. For those of you who are not aware, the last 10 days of the fast is very difficult, because for those of you who are Muslims, you would relate and you would corroborate this. This is the time that, they have prayers at different times, and they go very forcefully. The last 10 days, they go very forcefully. And so Sekou and I were together Saturday night. We're hanging out with Chili. Was a good time. Telvi called and she tried to interrupt that chilling, but it was hot. She couldn't interrupt the chilling. The chilling was too long. The chilling was too long, deep, and cool. So yeah, so about this weekend, I think the fast should be over with. We have been following the calendar as well because we have family members and loved ones who are also fasting. So we're following, we're keeping up with them. By this weekend, hopefully Saturday, Sunday, either Saturday or Sunday, they should be done. Monday, hopefully, Monday or Sunday should be the prayer day. So Sekou will join us. It's not 100% certain. I don't want to say it's certain, but he could join us anytime soon. But let's recognize one or two people here. As you write, we'll know that you are here, and we'll definitely. But today we are on fire. A lot of things happening. Dynamics are changing. Paradigm is shifting. So it's going to get interesting. Bill Copson, my man, welcome to the show. Bill Copson, welcome to the show. At least you won't turn this time, so that won't buy you. You'll not get fun. You'll not get fun. So you're good, my brother. This time I said you've been surprising me now. Confused now. I said you can be on the show. You the first man can be on the show. This time I'm confused now. So yeah, I don't even know what's going on. Annie Tokpa. Annie Tokpa is Professor Alari's wife. Whenever she's on, I gotta behave. I don't put myself in check and don't put myself in situation I can't handle. I don't have it for you. I don't have it for you. I will call you right after the show. Yvette, welcome to the show. Mayada, welcome to the show. Tima, Odua, Tima, you've been gone for a while, Odua. We haven't seen you for a while. Odua, welcome back. Ruth Robert Springbar, welcome to the show. You Metro. See, I know your name now very well. I need to trip again. I need to slow down. You didn't call it. I can just call it. Yeah, Jeremy, welcome to the show. Who else? Antoinette, welcome to the show. So as you write, we know that you're here, then we can recognize you. Alex Nimna, welcome to the show. Timothy, now, my man, welcome to the show. My man, it's been a while. Welcome to the show. Richard, welcome to the show. Welcome to all of you. As we get back, we'll definitely go on some new ballets. In other news, let's bring something to you from other news really quick. And as we get back, we'll get on it. In other news, in our easy. My man Dwalu, my man, what's going on, Chief? Let me know what's up, boss. Eric, welcome to the show. You're watching from Texas. What we do with Texas people? We had to trouble. Why Texas people just follow the show like that? What they happen? What we did with Texas people? You know, Texas people want to tell the show. Yeah, I'm watching these Texas people. Wait, we got to call the boy from Minnesota, Maryland, and other places in Georgia who used to take what they show. Texas people taking what they show. Small. Wow, Texas people taking what they show. Small. Wow, Bill Cosby, I heard from New York. Your New York people, you're going to take what things. Be careful. Okay, I see Washington D.C. Sylvester. Okay, all right, we getting there small. Choco, welcome to the show. Caroline, you see another Texas person, Tyler Fort Worth. Your Texas people, wait. I hope that tell Ben doing the recruit. Tell Ben recruiting the boy from Texas. Tell Ben recruiting the boy from Texas to come on the show. Yeah, they Texas people. Then wait up. Richard from Texas, Eric from Texas. My man Bill, you're not from Texas, man. Sylvester, thank you. I leave you back from DC, brother. Thank you for letting us know what's going on. The Texas state here, because you're one of the biggest states in the country now. So what they go? Benjamin Jonah, you don't. They Benjamin Jonah man. I'm talking about man. Benjamin Jonah, when you move to Texas, easy Illinois. Josephine. Oh, Josephine watching from Grand Crew. The way that Jofi watching from Grand Crew. Victor, thank you. Victor from Achimo Fredericks, welcome to the show. Duke, you see New York people that coming small. Wait a minute. Emmanuel, my man, you're the DMV people. My man, I don't understand you. You're the DMV people. I don't understand you. Easy the 2 minutes now, man. I ain't let trouble. Man, you from Morocco. Smith that way. You from Texas? Wait a minute. Smith that way. No way, we gotta investigate the thing. My man Bill Cosby, when you move to Maryland, you see your life. When you move to Maryland, who there from North Carolina people? Wait, I'm watching my people from Georgia. Do you from where? Bangladesh? Evelyn Hill. Where you from, Evelyn? You saying, oh, where you from? That you can be saying, oh. That you are from what is state name? Utah? You're from a Romney state? Are they Utah people? Okay, we know you now. But let's 2 more minutes to we'll try to recognize achieve more PA. Where are PA people then coming from? That the noisy crew then that the PA crew then that the noisy crew, but that the people then who what when they ready to come again, that can. But when I will go to Texas today, Texas people, let me really look at the thing for true. I told Minnesota people, my man, Ben, you do a good job, my man. You ain't doing a good job. Minnesota people they used to follow the play, but they're not follow the play. Ben, my man, you leaving CD, undercover sedition and you becoming constitution. Don't bring noise on the show here today, brother. Don't bring noise here, man. I beg you, don't bring noise on the show here today. They built this Smith that way, man. I don't understand it, man. They may have 1 million from Texas, another million from Atlanta, Georgia. Where you from, Smith? Where you from? Don't confuse or don't be that Bill Carson. Oh, Evelyn, you from what? You from Dallas, Texas? No, they Texas people here, they're problem. You Metro? You from Minnesota? I heard say it's snowing there. Yeah, well, y'all will handle that other one. The time when you're friend in the heat, you're in snow business. You're on your own. So yeah, I got a couple of Minnesota people here. The folks from Minnesota, you can't overlook them. Yeah, they're quick to take over, so you can't overlook them. You can't overlook. So that way, my man. The last time I heard they say you were in Texas again. Where you confusing people for? The other time they say you were in Atlanta, Georgia. Don't confuse us, man. So that way, don't confuse us. What the Atlanta, Georgia group that said, what they examine know for the put for Atlanta, Georgia. I will be in Atlanta, Georgia if you do, so let me be nice to them so that they can treat me nicely. You're who in your New York, then Texas, then and I come in that jail, so I ain't worried that I still will come into Texas in a few days. People are coming there, so anything you want to. Let me know for my Atlanta, Georgia people here. What my Atlanta, Georgia people here? What do put them for Atlanta? You're hardly now? Okay. So because they say Cummings from Atlanta, Georgia, and so you can be hiding North Carolina, Joseph. No man, but oh, Dr. Nak, good to have you. How are you? It's someone on the show in transit. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'll definitely get back with you because we need to have you on. Hopefully, to have another conversation. Good to have you on. Thanks for all you do, Dr. Nak. Thank you so much. Thanks for all you do. We look forward to having you back on. It's good to hear from you. We'll definitely get back in touch with you. And you said you were in transit, so safe travel to wherever you are or wherever you're going on, whatever's going on. When Smith that way, my man, most ability you can bring it. The people in Maryland that no, not Maryland says I will be going. Atlanta, Georgia, will be there soon. So, the PA people then. It's okay, I beg you. Don't bring noise here. PA people then when they take something, they can't leave it. Don't bring noise here. Benjamin? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring you quick up to speed in other news. Very interesting things are going on. If you are not aware, very, very interesting things are going on in other news here. There are very, very, very interesting things that are going on. I'll give you an example. Let's start off with, please share the show. Most of you know Swakoko Dennis, one of the lawmakers in Liberia. She wrote something very interesting that caught our attention. She wrote it about an hour ago. Let me read it really quick to you because this is very disturbing. It's very disturbing for the state. Since we're talking about the state of our nation, this is very interesting and very disturbing. Very, very disturbing. Very disturbing, very alarming, very concerning. This is what she wrote. Listen to what she wrote. Remember me. This might be my last moment in time. I think the king and his worshippers want me killed. They want me killed. They want me killed. When I'm dead, no autopsy, please. I don't know whether the judiciary would allow itself to be used. I don't think. Because the fear of law is beautiful and it must be respected for the outcome of any nation. But you can never tell. I think they want to kill me. I believe this government want to kill me. Remember me. Remember, no autopsy, I said. This is very disturbing. This is very disturbing. This is no joke. This is a sitting lawmaker accusing the government and the current president of plotting or trying to kill her. This is interesting. This is concerning. Very, very concerning. And this is from her official Facebook feed. This is very concerning. This is a lawmaker. Now, mind you, imagine the common people who are not in position. This is not a joke. This is not a joke. This is not a joke. This is the call, the plea of a lawmaker, a sitting lawmaker, not a former lawmaker. This is not a joke. This is not a joke, and it should not be overlooked that this lady or this lawmaker is crying for help. This is not a joke, guys. There's nothing funny about this. I don't find this to be funny. And she's calling on and requesting that there should be no autopsy when she's dead. This is troubling for the state of our nation. There's no joke about it. She's directly accusing the president and members of the government. This is not a joke. This is no joke. This is no time to play around. It has nothing to do with politics. It has nothing to do with politics. You know, we like to authenticate stuff before we speak about it. We like to talk about things before. We like to make sure we find out stuff before we speak about it, so that when we come on here, we want to maintain our respect, our independence, and our integrity as much as possible. A few days ago, there was an information sent out to us. We said nothing about it. Let me read this information. Let me read something that's very interesting, because we wanted to ensure this information is corroborated before we even talk about it. A few days ago, and this is just in other news. Wait, can you imagine? We haven't even started the show yet. This is just in other news. Let me read. In other news, we'll get back to this other information that we're about to talk about. In other news, check. A few weeks ago, the bicentennial, as some of you would remember, the CDC-led government came to the public and said there was a Liberian businessman who hired P Square to come to the bicentennial, which was a lie. We cleared out on this show that it was a lie. It was not Sheikh. However, let's keep every factor constant here, that it was Sheikh. Let's agree with their narrative that they want the public to know that it was Sheikh who hired P Square to come and perform at the bicentennial. Part of the reasons why they did not want this whole P Square thing to be linked to the government directly, which was the government, in fact, that was using the cover of Sheikh. Part of the reason they didn't want that because of the public reaction and the backlash. Fast forward, Sheikh gets arrested on the 20th of this month in Maryland. And interestingly, as we conducted our research, we try to uncover the case of Sheck. Most of his information, his indictment and stuff, they're sealed. But we're working on ensuring that we get a copy of it. But this is what's interesting. This is what's interesting. Mind you, first of all, it was this Sheck that hired P Square to come to perform at the bar centennial, quote unquote. Sheck gets arrested for money laundering and so forth. One might say this investigation started a year or two ago. Great. Here is something I want you to think about. Here is something I want you to think about before we go to the break and come back. Share the show, please. Sheck is talking. He is talking. He is talking from all indications and for everything we've got so far. He's talking. The question is, if Sheck did that on behalf of Liberia, gave all that money to P Square to come to perform to the bar centennial, did Sheck get paid back? If no, this money that Sheck is laundering or Sheck is getting and so forth, let's dig into it. Are there other key players that are also involved into this money that he's been laundering and pushing? And he's been laundering and pushing around. Please don't even overlook this. Don't overlook this, because there are deeper connections and deeper ties to this particular case. And Sheck will talk. From what we are getting, he is talking. He is calling names. It's going to get very interesting. But let's go to the break. Quick, let's get you to share the show. Please, let's share the show. And we'll be back momentarily. Let's get to the break really, really quick. Let's share the show, guys, please. If you're just tuning in, this is SKTV. Many of you are not getting the notifications. And also, we're working on the technical issues that we're having. We're having some big technical issues. We're working on it. But let's go to the break really quick. Please share the show. Amazon, you're in the bag there with dancing again. I bet dancing in the bag. Oh. For those of you who don't know, I was really dancing. Yeah. Those of you who don't know what's going on, I was dancing in the back. Okay. Let's get back. Let's get back to where we were. So, check. Those of you who think that this is a joking thing, or someone who know how to dance or whatever it is, y'all will stay long inside. Y'all be fighting off our dancing skills. Y'all will stay long inside because we know how to dance. We need to go, Sonny. We know how to dance. We've been dancing a long time ago. We've been dancing before the whole politics thing. So we're dancing over a part of. So when it kind of music they're playing that can call our heart, we start dancing. Sorry, even as we are on the show, we are getting some quick updates here, so you will see me, back and forth or whatever it is. On some updates here, really quick, just to scan through it. We've been Smith that way. You forget about that thing. Bill Carson, y'all leave it. Dancing on part our era, y'all leave it. That other one, y'all just forget it. That what thing that dancing, that big yeah. Y'all leave that thing there. That dancing, being on part. That's something that we're turning. We understand the issue. Philip, you show respect for Denzel, eh? What wrong with man? Let me get to the point and forget about that dancing thing. That dancing Billy you want to bring? I beg you, yeah. We've been dancing for a while, my man. We've been dancing. We dance for teenagers. Smith that way. I beg you, don't bring those on the show yet. Yeah. Don't let me know. Forget about it. We are talking about getting to the dancing. You able to dance? You think I'm talking about that thing where I'll be doing? You'll be funny. Leave I tell you. She saw my movie in Georgia. Go ask her. Hey, go ask tell me thoughts on. She just saw a small movie. She was that she gave her that day. Do that thing, bro. If your thing are lying, I got a couple of people that my listen. I get my dance partner there. Look. Before we get into the whole Labrador noise and Labrador topic, in fact, except for that, I say with something. Listen, more. She laughing. Ask more. More said I see dancing. She know what is going on. Look, let me tell you something. Hey man, y'all will not believe it here. I don't even know what to say, but let me leave that thing because when we get into the dancing, y'all will just be cutting I'll go play the music. Then I get my phone. I bring it, I set it down so you can see some dance movies before we get into the show. Yeah, people waiting to listen to the thing we discuss. We discussing national issues. Y'all can't condemn dancing. Yeah, Smith that way, Bill Carson. You don't bring us on the show about dancing. Philip, my man, you don't try that thing. You don't try. I can dance by the president. Yeah, y'all know you ain't believe that one again. Okay, all right, very busy. I can dance by president. Even though president put in inside situation, get him, I can dance by him. Trust me. The other time, what do people that mean? United Party put us on a thing of JMB dancing. I can dance by JMB. Okay, y'all say that politics again. I can dance by JMB. I saw the man on Spoon Tour the other time bouncing around saying they were dancing. I can dance by all of them. The Benno, the Stanton, keep on by him know how to move. He can dance. I can dance by him. I'm born in Timberland, Georgia. Even why I mean, Dr. Peabody, I can all the men I can dance by the men. I can dance by Sekou. Okay, now we forget about the dancing minute. Let's get into our see what conversation here. Because when I'm on yo, just put me in trouble with people with my men, it will be problem because when I start spacing on it, I can dance by them, then it will take it personal, but I can dance by the men. But let leave it. I will turn on the other camera. My man, Loya, Sylvester, don't test me. Don't test me, brother. Don't test me. Don't test me. Mose Mo, y'all don't try it. Y'all don't try it. Let the weekend. I'll leave it, man. Joe Lobo second test. Y'all go at Josh, you tell you. Y'all go at Josh. Joe Lobo, y'all go ask him, you tell you. They're talking about real things on it, y'all be here. Think that funny music. I was just dancing general. Anyways, back to the conversation. Back to the conversation. You got other Gintano man, il est noise, look at look at you, look at you, look at you, look at you, look at you. They're going to beg you, man. They're going to beg you. Ask more will tell you. Ask more. I sure Denzel moved that time in Texas, then in Georgia again. I sure Denzel moved. She was actually confused. She said, "Oh, you get that thing." But anyways, let's get back to this because this is important. My man Sylvester, don't bring distraction on the show yet, man. Show what thing? Do that thing. But let's get to the show. Let's get to the show. Yeah, we're coming to about Shaq, yeah. Philip, we're coming to about Shaq. So let's get to the show. So Shaq, in question, his dealings has been in Liberia and other places. So the question is, what is his link to Liberia and people in the government in terms of this money laundering thing that we're discussing? And as time goes by, we'll unveil, bring up some of the names and the people that possibly would be implicated. Now, mind you, this is not in the case of Dr. Cassette. This is a total different case. This is a total different case. This guy has been followed. The money trail has been followed. Everyone that benefited has been followed. Where he's been getting the money and what he's been doing, they have also been documented. So these are not just mutually exclusive conversation. This is bigger and deeper than you think. Again, it is not our labyrinth conversation. It's not our labyrinth conversation. It's bigger and deeper than what you might normally see or what you might normally think or expect. So these are some of the things that we are following. Again, the Swakoko Dennis issue, this is not something to joke about. In terms of the state of the nation, here is a sitting lawmaker crying for help that implicating directly the president and the government. Again, a sitting lawmaker is implicating President George Weah and the current government. This is not a joke. And her implication is a threat on her life. You know, Bill, this is a good point. Some of these things, when you say them, people think you hit the president or you hit the government. I've told you guys on this show before, and I stand by what I said. I said President George Weah is addicted to criminology. He likes criminal. So by extension, he is a criminal as well. Almost all of the people, all of his dealings, they're a bunch of criminal and shady characters. Bunch of funny people he deals with. Always in some kind of little shenanigans. When we say these things, you think we hit the president, and somebody would say, oh, don't disrespect the president, don't do that, don't do that. Well, then tell the president he needs to get better friends and better associates than criminals. As long as he associates his friends, and most of the people he does dealing with, they are criminals and crooks, and he refuses to fire them, let them go, or so forth, guess what? The president is by extension a criminal. Yes, and I'm not afraid to say it. I know some of you will want to play this, oh, the president, or whatever. Listen, forget that thing. Leave that thing. And I on your talking point. Leave that thing. Leave that one. You'll be whatever your president being. The president a human being. A human being too. So the president a criminal, say criminal. I'm here for that. I'm not here to use different terms or different words. I don't know how else to say it. But again, this is concerning. This is troubling. This is concerning. This is troubling. Things are moving very fast. You know, Friday night, I was on Focus on Liberia, and we were discussing about the politics and what would happen. I was also on Jay Randy's show, and I did make a prediction. Okay.
Hello.
What's going on?
What's up, man?
Yes, good to see you. What's up? Since Saturday night, what's up? What's up?
Good to see you, bro.
Yeah, welcome to the show. What's going on?
I can't complain.
Yes. How's the fast? How's everything?
The fast is good. The fast is good. We almost there.
Great. Wonderful. That's good. That's good news. So really quick, as to update you, we we talked to you about some of these different things that are in play. Now, a certain lawmaker, go on Swag, go Dennis Page. She is crying as we speak for help that the president and the government wants to take her life. And when she dies, or if she dies, she does not need any autopsy. She doesn't want any autopsy to be conducted. This is very serious for the state of our nation. This is very, very serious. But let me bring you up to speed to something really quick. We got this communication sent out to us, as we said. We did not want to say much about it. Many of you have seen it trending on Facebook. This concerns Mr. Alexander Cummings. And this information was sent out. When we got it, we tried to authenticate it before we say anything about it because we did not want to make it seem like we are talking for someone or we the mouthpiece for ANC. Y'all can already deal with us and say we ANC people. So that one. But here is a communication that came out from Serena Cephas to Stanton Witherspoon. Per what we got. The communication reads, "Good morning. A lot of misinformation is going around about my role in Alexander B. Cummings, and others' trial. But the truth is, it was the Minister of Justice, Councillor Frank Musadin, who ordered the reinsurance of the writ of arrest against them after it was first squashed. Under Liberian law, he is the only person who can disagree with the president or the government on the question of law and still keep his job. He is the only person who can order the matter to be dismissed. I am only a prosecutor who is acting under his control and supervision, but he's afraid to take a firm decision and believes that I will unilaterally abandon the case so that he can use it against me to the government and the people of Liberia." Now, this is Serena Cephas writing. It continues. "My role is like a front-line commander, only acting on instructions. Look at the waves of crimes in the country, and there are no arrests and prosecutions. Yet, there is a justice minister who believes his role is being usurped by someone like me, whose role is simply to go to court. In the coming days, I will give detail of what I think is the problem with our criminal justice system. Thanks, Solicitor General." But something interesting happened also. In line of this communication, our Minister of Justice, Frank Musadin, did not hesitate. He wanted to clear his name, so he decided to respond to this. This is the official press release that he had today. Listen to what it says. Monrovia, Monday, April 25th, which is today. "The Minister of Justice and the Attorney General of the Republic of Liberia has directed the Solicitor General, Serena Cephas, to furnish his office with the proper evidence which provide the basis for the prosecution of Alexander B. Cummings and others. The minister's directive is consistent with Section 22.2 of the Executive Order, which states that it shall be the duty of the Ministry of Justice to procure the proper evidence for and conduct, prosecute, or defend all suits and proceedings in the courts which the Republic of Liberia or any official thereof, as to such official is the party or may be interested. The minister cautioned that henceforth the prosecution of all cases must be approved by his office, and prosecutors are advised to furnish the office of the minister with the proper evidence in support of all and any prosecutions. The minister noted that he is under obligation to ensure that the purpose of prosecution is not to taunt, harass, grandstand, punish, or convict, but to pursue the truth. And that in the instant cases, the rate of arrest against Alexander B. Cummings and other was never squashed, therefore could not have been reinstituted by the office of the minister. A huge contradiction. But Mr. Kane, just before you come into this conversation, I wanted to point out something. And SKTV wanted to announce to you that based on our research and our findings, Nathaniel McGill received a call, and he can attest to this, from a very high source placed person in the United States. And he was told directly that this prosecution against Alexander Cummings is believed to be cooked up. Remember, there was this Trump up charges that came up earlier on.
Mm-hmm.
This same person that spoke to Nathaniel McGill, and this same person told him this, called him on the phone and told him this, that they should put themselves together. Mr. Kane, what says you, before we get to, the other items that are on here, the state of our nation, what says you based on what you've heard or what we've read here, the information that's been sent to us?
First of all, I want to say thank you to you for keeping the show up and, going. And I want to say a big thank you to our followers, our audience, our fans, well-wishers. Before I came, you made a statement, and people are saying it here. In Liberia, we say that a liar can say my witness behind the river. So the inauguration coming, all the big moves Steve was making, he can dance or he can't dance. Or people that will be here for the inauguration will carry the news. So all the big more, because before I get to a serious issue, I got to address that particular part. Because my people are concerned about it. Say Steve was talking bad thing about behind me, you think he can dance more than me. Let me say this. Steve is a shy person. Steve can't even dance.
Oh.
When Messi play women all over the place, making me shy. You go high in the corner.
You spend on you.
I was there.
That breaking news there.
Women there plenty. So when you go women there plenty with a BP gun, Steve can go high and say in the corner, making me scared. Then I made a come in talk about dancing here. But anyway, I will space on you more later on, but let me get to the real issue. So I just want to give you information to the report that they made a shy man. Don't see him on the TV. Don't see him on the camera or make him on the beamer. But when all the real, in Liberia, we call it Biju, right? When the Biju then show up, Steve can run away. Just 1 second. Let me answer this call.
All right, go ahead. So, ladies and gentlemen, see, Segu trying to put me in a situation I can't handle yet. But we'll discuss that one behind. Listen. Segu Jawon, he Jawon bring noise on the show. Yeah. He Jawon bring noise on the show. The show been going good. That's all I can tell. The show are going good. Until, the show been going good. The show been going good. Segu just bring noise on the show.
So I'm back. First of all, I will forget about Steve for now. I want people to come. Everybody that plans to come to the inauguration, just come. When you come here, if you do nothing else, just observe me and Steve. See who can dance. Big guy like shy man. Don't see him Biggie be on the TV. Yeah. I can't even tell. I mean, don't make me to talk, man.
No, we
So
thought I won't be a
all the
couple
people
with
you
this.
meet, that will be on me. Yeah. You see, Mama, this is confirming. Mama, this is the former president of Amusa confirming. The man say you saw it at the convention where you go high or say in the corner, you know, running behind you to go dance with you want to dance.
Yeah, you remember we forgot about it to the hotel, forgot about
convention
the
in Philadelphia. Mama, this is the former president of Amusa just confirm it.
Yeah, but we forgot about the dancing.
So,
Remember that?
everybody watching you.
Yeah, but the dancing clothes was all take that day from the hotel. You forgot about it, Sonny. So when we left, we went to the place.
So it's okay now. All the people the man were making, you shouldn't worry about him.
I didn't have my dancing clothes. You're sorry, but
on a serious, Steve is a shy guy. A lot of people get Mr. Proud when they see him making be more on camera, but in person, it made a shy person. Imagine LeBron man with a woman building. We make a run away from the women.
Oh, Mr. Kane, let's discuss it.
No. You start with something. You got to finish that one first.
No, we got the state of the nation right here. We have to discuss that one.
All right. Let's get to the issue. Steve, on a serious note, it's good to be back. As always, to be honest, I'm not going to be as consistent as I would love to be because of how busy, our African people there, or even American people as a whole. When tax time count, at the time they can spend their money, and me, I want their money there. And so I'm doing my business. So I'm busy. This is the time people can be buying cars. So I'm extremely busy with my business. That's why it's hard for me to be on. And then on weekend, with the first month, trust me, it's tough. We got a lot of community engagement and other stuff going on. That's why. But after the Ramadan, I will try to be as consistent as possible because my inbox is filled. And Steve being attacked every day. Where is Sekou? Where is Sekou? Same thing with Telco. Everybody, action. But I want to say big thank you to Telco and Steve Boley for, keeping the show going. But on a serious note, Steve, when you ask the state of our nation, this is scary. We know the state of our nation is not good. But if people could be led by themselves, nobody be harassed, intimidated, or people not being killed all the time. One of my friends told me one time last week, Sekou, you guys talk about the government all the time, talking about people being killed in the country. Even in the United States, people die all the time. I said, that's true. But the thing about it, people die all the time. The governments around the world and the government of the United States, state and federal, they investigate. Not only they investigate, they prosecute people who kill other people. And most of the killings that we're talking about here are killings that government herself is connected to. If somebody who's supposed to expose the government or who knows something wrong, doing something wrong that the government did, if that person is killed or missing, the government has connection with that. So the problem of Liberia is leadership vacuum. We do not have leadership. The president is not a leader. His surroundings are not helping. And opposition that we're supposed to look up to, majority of them are not serious. That is the problem. Like when you see the state of our nation, sometimes something can be broken, but at least you are hoping on a replacement. But very few of them that are serious. So the state of our nation is really, really, really bad. It's terribly bad. And some of the information that you just talk about. You know, we have a breaking news on something about the Ministry of Agriculture. We'll be coming out with names and clear picture as to who did what and who ran away to come to the United States, who is currently here in the United States, in Philadelphia to be specific. We'll call name, we'll call their position about some issue of $5 million United States dollars. Now, this person supposed to be a minister, deputy minister, who was acting as minister at the time when this $5 million saga happened. Now, this person, Steve, who was acting as minister proper when the $5 million thing came out, that person knows a lot as to who is involved, who is not involved, who took what, who did not take what. Guess what? The person ran away, came to the United States, and now is here now seeking asylum. Now fire a current deputy minister ran away because when this whole thing came up, the government people are pressurizing this guy to take responsibility, to say, yes, this $5 million was used properly, even though the man knew it was not. But the man should own up to the to the saga that yes, indeed, it was used properly, and he shouldn't talk about what happened. So this guy escaped, came to the United States, is here, even filed for asylum. He wants to stay here, doesn't want to go back to Liberia. So when you talk about information, this person is in the United States and seeking refuge in the United States. You think the person wants asylum, the person will not speak? This person knows exactly what happened with the $5 million. He knows who took what, whether it's the president, it's the finance minister, it's the minister of state or whatever, everybody who are implicated, he knows them. And he's talking, and he's going to talk more. Imagine Steve, or certain minister, left your country and is afraid to go back because of some corruption scandal. So the state of our nation, it can be bad more than this. But one of the most fearful things about it is that who do we turn to? Are we really ready to change the direction of our country? That is the question. That's a big question. Are we ready? Even people who are here right now watching you, how many of them that is really, really ready? Who is ready to change the country? Many of our people come to these platforms and they look at it, they consider it as therapy, some as entertainment, some just for the fun. There are some serious-minded people, but vast majority of the people, they will only come here not to listen to the substance of information that you gave, not to dig deeper, or not to use the information that they receive from here, but just to come here to hear the new thing for this purpose of entertainment, for the fun of it. And then they move to the next platform. What's new? Breaking news, bombshell, and the rest of it. So if you look at the state of the nation, you say it's bad. But what about the people themselves? What are we doing about it? If something is bright, something is broken, what are you doing to fix it? Your mindset is what you should put together first. Fix yourself first. Have some sense of direction as to where you want to go. Not just about going everywhere or taking everything, or maybe just supporting one person and you are dug into that. No matter what, you will never move. Even if truth are presented to you, you don't care. But all you think about, if you're supporting Steve, then that's Steve. So if we can fix those mindset first, then we can fix the bigger one. Because we are the one that's supposed to fix our leaders. If somebody's not doing their job, we remove them. We put somebody else there. But if you are not thinking right, you're supposed to. How will you know that somebody's doing the wrong thing if your thinking is not correct? So, Steve, the state of our nation is bad. All the threats. I was very, very concerned when I hear you talk about, when I hear you reading the comment from the sitting representative. This country being considered as one of the most corrupt country, and the American government talk about how the country is not safe. They talk about how people being intimidated. They talk about, they even warn their citizens about traveling to Liberia, given the level of risk. But then a sitting representative, not even saying that somebody want to kill me, but going as far as calling names and directly implicating the president. That must be very, very serious.
Yep.
It means that she knows something that we don't know. It means that she's looking at something that we are not seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps if you ask me, I would say this person, in fact, already going through something.
Mm-hmm.
Based on what you just read, it means that this is not something that just somebody expecting something or somebody being threatened. But this statement says a lot. The statement is saying that this person is already going through something. Say when the person said they already know that they might die. Saying that if I die, there should be no autopsy and the rest of it. It means that something terrible is happening. And directly, openly, pointing finger to the president. It means a lot. It means a lot. So we'll talk about the other stuff when we get there. The issue involving Minister Musadin and Serena Seafors. But yes, the state of a nation is terrible. And we have to, act together, all of us, and be serious. Other than that, we're just going to talk. Come 2023, the same thing will continue.
So yeah, Mr. Kanye, this huge discrepancy from this text message that came from, first of all, I'd like to say it's very unethical for the Solicitor General to be sending such sensitive, maybe communication to a talk show host, that was apparently made public, whether the intent was to make it public or not, that's very concerning. It's very, very unethical, very irresponsible. But what do you make of that communication of he trying to throw Mossadegh on the bus and emphatically stating in that communication that basically they have no evidence and they've been prosecuting this case. They've been trying to, and he stated that Mossadegh has the right to kick the case, to dismiss the case. But Mossadegh does not want to do it. So shifting of blame and so forth. This is, and some of these things we said this before. What do you make of that?
First of all, I want to establish whether or not the alleged communication between Shavina Seaford and Stanton, whether it was personal, whether this was private conversation or private messages sent to each other, or this thing was meant to be published. We want to establish that fact first. How it came out.
Right.
What happened? What happened? What happened? How? And in fact, why Spoon?
Yeah.
Why Spoon? And you remember Spoon went under fire for making a statement such as Shavina Seaford is one of the best when it comes to laws in Liberia. Why Spoon in the first place? What is the comfort level that we make a certain Solicitor General of the country to send such a message, trying to downgrade or degrade the minister proper, the Minister of Justice? That is the first thing we need to establish for what happened. Is this something, okay, I may have something here, but I can't say it directly, I will send it to you. You publish it, you talk about it. Oh no, this is something, or this is our private comment, I'm just letting you know what's going on. Then Spoon, for no reason or for some reason, decided to put it out. We don't know. I'm just hearing this. Other than that, I was going to do my little investigation behind the scene before coming here. You know that. But what happened? We first of all need to establish as to what really happened, the basis of that conversation. Why was this sent to Spoon? Why Spoon? Was this just a friendly conversation? The man trying to keep him up to date, or this was sent to him purposely to go and publish it? That's the first thing you want to establish. Second thing, Steve, is something that we have talked about before, that there's no case, there's nothing to prosecute. There's nothing to show to the people or to prove their case against Alexander B. Cummings, at least for what we know. Now, it is very shameful. I will repeat. It is very, very shameful for the Minister of Justice and the Solicitor General of the country to go in public to trade allegation against each other. It is shameful. But again, if you ask me, this one just proves that Cummings is vindicated. If this guy is saying he is just a frontline commander taking instruction and the minister of justice is the one that gave him the authorization to prosecute. But then before, we told you here on this platform that the push started from the president to Musa Dean, to Solicitor General, and to the rest of the people, the judges. Now, this guy is saying it was Musa Dean who told them it was through Musa Dean's instruction that they came out to resurrect the case. Musa Dean is saying the case was not squashed in the first place. Something must be eliminated first, or maybe it must be thrown out of the window first, that you can count and resurrect. But if the case was not thrown out of the window, and you are saying that it was Musa Dean that told you to go and let me put it in a simple way. Musa Dean that told you to go and restart the case as if to say the case was closed. That says a lot. It means that everything going on right now, if you listen to that letter from Musa Dean, that communication from Musa Dean, he's saying, but the case was not even closed. It was not squashed. Why should we resurrect something that since they embark on this journey, they never stop? So how can Musa Dean come by and say, okay, you know what? The case was closed or the case was squashed. Let's, start the case again. How can he do that? So in short, there's no case against Cummings. But, in Liberia, like people will say, that God beating them, so that's what a lot of people will say. But this is way bigger than that. It's bigger than that. Now it's about shifting blame. But I blame Musa Dean for everything going on. Musa Dean, if you are a professional, if you are a lawyer, and you find yourself in the midst of corrupt-minded people that are not law-abiding, you find yourself in the midst of people who are there to witch hunt other people for their own benefit. If you know that, this is not the first time. You remember, in the case of Henry Costa going to Liberia, Henry Costa will not come, he will come, he will be arrested, will not be arrested. All the pettiness between Musa Dean and the Solicitor General. We have said this before. Serena Sifo is not qualified to be Solicitor General. He was given this position because he served to unlawfully prosecute and remove Justice Janet. That's why he was rewarded with this position. He doesn't deserve it. He doesn't merit the position. But he was given the position simply because he was used to bend the Constitution. He was used to prosecute a certain justice illegally and remove from office. So this was his reward. It's not because he's qualified. There are a lot of qualified. Let me tell you something. This guy writing Spoon, sending him information, critical information about the minister or the Ministry of Justice through text message. I told you during the case of Cabinet Janet, Justice Janet, this guy went and sat in the restaurant, drinking, sweating, on the phone, loud phone, talking about how much they have gathered senators, how many senators have received the money that they gave them, how many senators they had on board already. Imagine, Steve, in a restaurant where there's a lot of other people. Somebody called me from there. Said, this is the guy who is this the lawyer for the guy for the government? I said, what's going on? He said, listen to him. And turn the camera to him. He's talking. Oh, we got it. Oh, yeah. The other lawyer finished time. The other lawyer finished time. I mean, Senator finished time. This guy was talking, drinking, sweating. Can you imagine? But right after that, he was given the position to be the Solicitor General of the country. Not because he doesn't know his job, because he's not qualified to serve in that position. That's why he is fighting with the minister and going as far as lying on the minister. So now the ball is in Musa Din's court. He can just kick the whole case out. There's nothing to prosecute. The Solicitor General is saying that I have nothing. It's up to the minister to do whatever he wants to do. Why waste people's time? So if you ask me, Solicitor General, first thing, the guy is not qualified. Secondly, why spoon? And what was the intent of that communication? And overall, there's no case. So all they need to do, throw the case out, apologize to commies, and let people move on and focus on real issue.
Well, Mr. Kennedy, there seems to be a pattern here. This communication is not mutually exclusive. I give you a typical example as of most recent. It was on the scene because it was on the scene spoon talk. That's where the government uses spoon talk. And this is not a hidden secret. Let me tell you something. For those of you who want, especially those of you who are Christian, who want Jesus to come and speak to you in your sleep or just fall down in front of you and say, yeah, spoon talk and the government working together, then you get a long time to wait because Jesus is not going to do that. Your common sense and everything else that's going on around you should let you know that these guys are in cahoot. They're working together, and the government uses that as a way to send out a message. Just before, let me remind you guys of something as of most recent. Just before the autopsy report could come out, the findings that would have been said as of the cause of death, the cause of death or the cause associated to the death of Princess, it will first announce on Spoon Talk. Because from what we are gathering, this is how they channel the information as to get public reaction, to see how the public reacts. And they enact some of these things. This is a strategic move. These guys are meticulously planning these things to coordinate and do some of these things. Let me say this. These things are not mistakes. They know exactly what they are doing. Serena Cephas, from the background investigation we have been doing, Serena Cephas is trying to find a way out. So they're looking for people to blame because push coming to shove. Push coming to shove. Look, Mr. Cannon, like you said earlier, what about the Musa Dean? What about the Serena Cephas? I'm not sorry for the Musa Dean. I'm not sorry for the Serena Cephas. All of them are the same sets of people. All of them are the same sets of people, Mr. Cannon. Because when you know better, you act better. Musa did not forced to be over there. He not forced to be there. Musa didn't.
Steve, another side of this story, though, another side of this particular case. I thought Senator Yomli Kanga Lawrence and former Vice President Joseph Nima Boakai is supposed to go and testify as state witness.
Well, Mr. Kanye, that is the quagmire we are in right now as we speak. Because Joseph Nima Boakai, the subpoena, according to them, I listened to Serena Cephas saying that they're no longer going to get subpoena or they're no longer going to subpoena Joseph Nima Boakai. It's a deposition. They're going to get deposition from him. So what they are doing, essentially, they're trying to walk back this whole bringing them as witnesses. Let me say this, Mr. Kane. This is a shameful and a disgraceful thing to our justice system. Let's forget about Alexander Cummings. The question is, what if this was not a high-profile person or another political leader? Why, if this was just an innocent man, you want to tell me that these guys will coordinate plot and tarnish the reputation of an innocent person? You want to tell me this is what these guys would do? You want to tell me if this was a Sekou Kane or if this was a Steve Boley, because they don't want us around, they would coordinate a plot and do this kind of thing? You want to tell me this is how this thing is done? So, as we speak, and let me say this, I'm hoping and praying, let them pursue this case. I've always said it. Let Yomli Kanga go and testify. Let Joseph Yuma Bwaga go and testify. They must all testify. As look, even the Benana Yue man must testify on an oath. Let this thing be brought to light. Look.
But what is stopping Bwakai to former vice president from coming to testify?
That Lala stopping him, because all of them know they lied. I don't want to say it. They know that they lied. They can't substantiate the lies. The plot. Look, the plot is backfiring. It's backfiring so bad. They're trying to put the pieces together. So everybody won't run away and blame and throw blame and start throwing people under the bus. The plot is backfiring, Mr. Cannon. That's all that is. They thought this thing would have gone as usual. They really thought it would have gone as usual. Now it's not going as usual. So they're finding a way for everybody to cave themselves, for everybody to blame each other, or to throw somebody under the bus. So Serena Sifos, essentially, is trying to throw the Minister of Justice under the bus and saying to the public, no, the Minister of Justice can kick this case out if he wants. Oh, well, you all knew all of this. You all knew
why would the Minister why did Justice Minister kick the case out when you say you have substantive evidence to prove the case against Mr. Cummings?
But either now, when we're talking and say we're supporting Cummings or we're supporting the other person, that either we said anything from day one. You're stuck with this thing, they can't stop. So as we are now, I think I would say to the CPP people, the ANC people, you all must protest. Let this case go to the final end. Let it go to the final end. Send a one case, your thought case business. Your thought case business. You're talking. So that we can hear exactly what's going on. And let Joseph, look, this is where I have problem with these people, Mr. Cannon. Let Joseph Yuma Bwaga go testify. Joseph Yuma Bwaga is a man of wisdom. He must testify to the truth.
But one thing people are confused about, let me say this here. Joseph Boakai, Nyombli Kanga Lawrence going to testify doesn't necessarily mean that they should go and lie. It doesn't really mean that they should go and prove negative thing against Cummings. They are not the one that sue Cummings. They can go and tell the truth.
No, they can't do that.
You don't have to go lie.
No, but they can't do that. They'll price themselves and put a foot in their mouth. Let me tell you why. They'll put a foot in their mouth. Let me tell you why. Because there is a tape recording. Remember that famous interview that was held? Joseph Yuma Bwaga spoke that he did not have copy of the document. They all, look, they put together this plan. When Yombli Kanga, and that's why I said from day one, when you said on the show, Mr. Kanga, that Yombli Kanga is a victim, no, I said she is not. In as much that I care about Yombli Kanga, and I'll stay up until today.
I still think that both Yombli and Boakai are victims. Okay. They don't even know. They don't even know what the guy is serving to.
Well, let them go exonerate themselves now. Let them go say the truth.
So let me tell you something. The government played them.
Oh yes.
The government played them by using Benin Ayure and his son.
Yep.
And they were advised. Personally, you know that I have personally advised some of those people and tell them, hey, this is not correct. This is all game. Don't fall for it. They never listen.
Nope.
They never listen. And what I can tell you, Steve, is that this government, like those opposition that joined them, they're all confused. They don't know what to do. They are creating unnecessary problem for themselves. They are creating unnecessary distraction for themselves. So because of that, even anybody who says that this government is doing nothing, absolutely nothing, you'll be wrong. They are doing some things, but not enough. Okay? But because of the stupidity, the level of stupidity in them, in their behavior, even the little thing that they are doing, those things are being overshadowed by too much of negativity,
Yeah.
too much unnecessary stuff. The government did some good things, but you can't even hear it because they're not intelligent enough to shine light on their good things. But wasting people time, witch hunting people, stealing money. So like the level of corruption and the level of incompetence by people that the president appointed and the president himself, those things that they are doing, people are not saying it. Because if you do one good thing today and you have 3-4 negative things coming out the same day, that will overshadow the good thing. The government is doing some stuff, even though for me it's not enough. But at least if they were focused, not even to pay attention to which one, anybody in the opposition, from Yeke Koluba to Lieutenant Cummings to everybody else, if this government was focused on whatever little thing they are doing and do more and shine light on it, enlighten people on it, encourage people to help them do more, as opposed to focusing on the opposition, trying to destroy the opposition as opposed to doing your job, we will not be where we are today. So, Steve, the case of Cummings, to me, if I were advising Cummings, I will allow the people to end the case as they wish to. When they throw it out of the window, I will not sue them. I will not waste my time. Suing them will even waste Cummings' time. You know what I would do? I would have done? I would go ahead and talk about what I can do differently. I will talk about how I will fix the justice system. I will talk about things that matter to the common people, the bread and butter issue, things that can change the life of the people. Because you know what? That is the destruction they want. That means if Cummings leave this case to say, you know what, okay, this case finished, let me go and go sue the people, you're not going to get anything out of it. You're going to be the same justice system. Who are you going to sue them to? Sue them where? You won't go to ECOWAS? They don't listen to anybody. They don't care. Do you trust the justice system? You're going to sue them to who? Do you know, in many instances, during this case, there have been some decision that the judges want to make, or the judge, even Judge Joma Jala, there were time they wanted to do they wanted to take a decision. He was called.
Yeah.
And told not to do so. So let's say Cummings, the people decide now, they're going to throw the case out the window and blah, blah, blah. Cummings should move on. It will only show to the Liberian people the kind of people they are dealing with. It will only show to the Liberian people the level of incompetence in George Weah and his people. that they are misusing their energy, misapplying our resources to non-issue. Let me give you an example, Steve. Cabinet Jane position during the last election. Right after the election, Cabinet Jane was posing no threat to the government. Nothing whatsoever. In fact, there was no election close by. Nothing whatsoever. But because of the level of stupidity, what they did, they focused on that unnecessarily, waste government, resources, wasted the country money, violated the constitution, make the government to look bad, that they could not prove their own case. This is going to be the second time or the third time. They could not prove their own case against Cabinet Justice Janet as is right now. And all those cases, the two cases now I'm talking about, were baseless. Nothing. And they were not necessary. Because I can only voice something that poses threat to me. But if the government is doing her job for which they were elected for, what should you worry about Alexander Cummings? You have the power, you have the money, you have everything in the country. But because they're not doing their job, and they see anybody who will have the potential to replace them or to hinder their, the potential winning of 2023, they will go after you. They don't care about what they're supposed to do. They don't care about the state of the nation. They don't care about the state of the people's life. All they care about is winning to remain in power and steal more money. So in short, Steve, Cummings, if I were advising Cummings, I would tell him, let the people then decide to throw the case out of the window, move on, continue to engage the people. Cummings yesterday and Cummings today is different. Cummings was a non-factor before 2017. Even into 2018, 2019, Cummings was not considered to be anything. But what just happened, and Cummings' service in the CPP, when you serve as a chairperson, the result of that, and what the government have just shown, it shows that Cummings is a major contender in the election. I'm not saying Cummings is going to win. I'm not saying Cummings is going to be president, but Cummings yesterday is no longer Cummings today. And in order for Cummings to gain more ground, is to avoid distraction. If people who are supporting Cummings are they're angry, they will say, you know what? They did this to the man. They do this. They want to destroy the man. They want to, tarnish the man's character or reputation. Blah blah blah. They want to do that. But if you follow them, then that means you will lose focus as to where you want to go. You're going to waste your time on suing the government to the government. You're going to waste your time, the time and money you're going to spend on that to sue the government or to do whatever, or to sue Wakai or anybody. Use that time, use that money to travel across the country, speak to the people. Tell them you were wrongfully accused just to hinder your progress. You were wrongfully prosecuted because they see the potential. You were wrongfully prosecuted because they don't want change. Educate the people, let them know that they fight. They are fighting you. It's not you, it's the people that are fighting because they don't want change. It is the system that is fighting you. Use that time, use that money to do that. Educate the people. You yourself, let me tell you something. The time Cummings was hiding under the bunker of these ANC people. Nobody knew commies. Nobody cared about commies. Nobody was considering commies to be anything. Nobody worries about commies at that time. But since commies came up, every single time you will have an interview, at least you will gain 1 or 2 people. I'm trying to be conservative here on the number. Every time he speaks, he gains support. Now, commies is a household name. Commies travel all the countries, or majority of the countries, selling himself, selling his agenda. He should do that. Not to focus fighting or losing battle. You cannot win people who got no respect for the rule of law, who has no respect for the Constitution, and who care less about the feeling of the common people. So the best commies can do, Steve, let the people close the case and move on. Let him focus, shining light on the level of incompetence of these people, and also telling the people what he commies can do or will do as president.
Okay, well, Mr. Kennedy, that's a good suggestion. I would say in other ways that you don't always have to kill a snake. Sometimes you can pet the snake, you can feed a snake. I don't think it's time to discuss going after them or suing them now. I don't think, like you said, I think it's important for this case to play out, and Mr. Cummins and the ANC and the CPP at large can strategically position themselves to speak to the Liberian people and get this monkey off his back, because I think this too is a problem. But that does not mean that it goes away. People must be held accountable. I believe in that. People must be held accountable. I believe in that. Especially bad actors. They must be held accountable. I believe in that. I do believe in that, but I don't think it's the right moment. You got to pick the right moment to do these things. But that's something I would say. Pick the right moment. I think there's a comment.
Steve, let me say this to you.
Mm-hmm.
People must be held accountable. Where? In a competent court of jurisdiction. In a lawful country. In a justice system that hold people accountable. But if you're going to sue criminal to be prosecuted by another criminal, what accountability do you expect? What are you going to get out of it? The best fight, the best way to hold these people accountable is to get them out of power. That's the only accountability. Because let me tell you something. It's good if the justice system was good.
Give
the
it.
country where you're seeing the Chief Justice is corrupted, it's in the pocket of the president. The country where the Minister of Justice, the most powerful law enforcement person in the country, fighting with the Solicitor General simply because of the Solicitor General has the backing of the President and the Minister of State. In the country where a certain justice can be removed, not only be removed, but illegally. You're talking about accountability. Who's going to hold who accountable? Who's going to hold who accountable? In a country wherein senators, representatives believe that corruption is okay. Who's gonna who accountable, Steve? So accountability starts with trust. Start with the rule of law. Respect for other people. Respect for the law and following the law. following the due process of the law. Who accountable? It's gonna be a waste of time, and that's what they want. It's like, okay, let's say the government. Who are you gonna sue now? Let's say you're gonna sue Boakai, sue Yombli, sue Yuri. To who? The same Joma Jala? Or you go to the Supreme Court, the same CDC Supreme Court? Where are you going? Where are you going? The country is polluted from the executive to the legislature and the judiciary. The entire country is polluted, it's been destroyed. So the best you can do right now is to use the people. I'm talking about the Liberian people. Tell them, educate them, make them to understand exactly what is going on in the country, even though they know. In our tradition, you see, you can leave the horse you can ride. You can leave it running and beat it again. Why? Because you want it to go more or faster. Do people know that the country is bad? They know their own condition. They know they can't afford to eat. They know they have no electricity. They know they have no clean drinking water. They know. But somebody must educate them that the need for change, and who can change it, and how that change can be effectuated. So, Steve, let me tell you something. Accountability is good, but it can only be good when the system is there. If the system is not there, who are you going to go to? Are you going to get justice? No, you're not going to get it, because the same people that you're supposed to go to prosecute are the same people that you're suing. And they're not going to prosecute themselves and hold themselves accountable.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, Mr. Kennedy, there's something.
Maybe in the future, let's say a different government comes. There are certain things. There are certain things that after a certain period of time, you can't prosecute anymore. In law enforcement, they call it statute of limitation. There are certain things, when a certain period of time passes, you can't go back to that one. But there are things that have no statute of limitation. You can resurrect it anytime.
Right.
So, if these people continue to violate our laws, continue to misuse the power given to them, the next government can prosecute. You don't have to witch hunt, but put the right system in place, void of personal interest, a system that will go by the book. And then if something that the country, deserve to know, you prosecute. If it's something that somebody owe the country, you prosecute. But you don't have to do it right now, because if you're not going to get justice, then what's the need? Steve?
True. Well, that can be extended. But Mr. Kennedy, there's something important before we open the line, take one or two calls. There's something important I wanted to bring to our attention. Yesterday, something happened in Liberia, and I wanted to bring it up to our attention because Liberia constitutes two religions, Christianity and Islam. I wanted to bring this because yesterday something happened. And I'm seeing people on Facebook and on other places defending what happened. And these are some of the things that can get some of us upset, disappointed, frustrated, and very sad. The reason this is this is very serious. I don't want to use the word little. This is very serious. Is because we need to get to the point where we understand something, that there are some lines you don't cross. There's some things you don't do. Yesterday, something happened in the country and people are overlooking and they're playing it. But I'll say it on the record here because it's important for us to say some of these things. Spirituality is very important. The world that we live in, most of the physical thing that you see us do, it has to have been done from a spiritual standpoint first. Let me say it again. Spirituality is very important. It controls our physical world. We cannot afford to fool around, mess around with spirituality. What do I mean? Yesterday, there is a bishop. From what I'm hearing, a good person, a reputable bishop. It's very shameful for Christianity. Very shameful for Christianity, I'm telling you, Mr. Kane. This bishop sat there, President George Weah. Who be President George Weah? Who other who know? George Weah. And that's a different person. Of all people, Mapo and kneeling down to George Weah. And I see these funny people who defend all kind of nonsense in their lives are defending it. Most of the people who defending it, if you just look at them for truth, you just see the image and the picture because they are questionable characters that are defending it. Go look at all the people that are defending it. So questionable characters. And they're making excuses that the man is a good man and the man is a good man. The reason I'm saying this is this. I said, when I say I get Muslim background, I got it. I have studied the Muslim religion as well. I have seen how the Islamic faith and religion carry themselves when it comes to their faith. I dare George Weah to drink or to smoke or to do whatever he wants to do to go carry that nonsense to the mosque and see if it will happen there. I challenge him. But that thing can only happen in Christianity. It can only happen among us. Because you know what? Most and almost all of our leaders are sold out. And we are sounding this alarm. Because it will come a time in our country that if you're not careful, this man, this president, these guys are on a mission. This is not a joking thing. I see your Christians. Everybody mute about it. Can you imagine this? This kind of disgraceful and humiliating thing. First of all, they sat there, they allowed George Weah to open a church. He goes in the church, stands on the pulpit, and talk nonsense and throw jabs. When we talk and they say we don't respect the president, well, the president don't respect our religion. He does not respect our religion. And I see pastor there, they're sucking up. When the Muslim people who are Liberian, the Islamic faith in our country, again, there are two religions in our country. Nobody should be carried away by that nonsense. There are two religions. Whether you like it, you don't like it, that's your business, but these are facts. When they went to the legislature to seek a holiday, those belly-driven, God sold out men of God came there, and they say we'll bring war in the country. The thing that destroying the religion. This is the same thing that God went in as a winger them today. They're sold out, doing just all time. They go and sit down. The thing that they do in the spirit world, they come and bring it in physical, and we should accept it. Whatever you saw on Sunday was not a mistake. It was not a mistake. Let me tell you today. If you don't know,
I don't understand what happened, Steve. Can you just briefly tell me what happened?
Mr. You've been really been missing for two.
Briefly. No, I know I've been following it.
So they were anointing the bishop or the pastor or whoever the title is, because they probably can wrong title. They were anointing the bishop. Okay, the title, they ain't wrong with it. Bagu show up. Forget clone shows up. And apparently he's the biggest man of God in town now. So he shows up, put hand there too, to another man, to according to them, to another man. I don't know what he anointing or what is going on. And you get the bishop there too, kneeling down in front of John Weir. Where they all here? See that kind of disgraceful thing. I said different person. They see John Weir. They see John Weir. And they're passing around, taking it for joke. They don't understand the spiritual implication behind some of these things. These are not things that you do. There are some things that are highly spiritual. You don't fool around with it. Whatever was done on Sunday, that particular moment, it was a signal. It was a signal. And George Weah knows exactly what's going on. That bishop knows exactly what's going on. He's not excused from it. Nobody should come and tell us, oh, the bishop didn't know. And then a flimsy excuse I'm seeing on Facebook is, and they wanted to reconcile. When people want to reconcile, one person will go and kneel down in front of the other person. You really think this is a reconciliation time? This joke on the team, everybody joking here.
Anyway, you say you want to take calls?
Yes. No, but Mr. Kane, let me get this thing clear. Because this particular thing is important. You see why people don't take Christianity serious? You see why, especially in Liberia, you see why people got no regard for this religion in Liberia? Because of these kind of things. This is symbolic. And as time goes by, we'll refer to this particular thing that happened that day. This particular thing is symbolic. There is something spiritually connected to this thing that you're seeing with your physical eyes. This is not a mistake. John, we are not calling at that moment, just that particular moment for that bishop to kneel down in front of him. It's not a mistake. You don't sell. I say your man do your better driven thing because that's all you're settled for. But you're pleased. And your men of God who say you get repetition in Liberia. I see Canvey, Adam, and other people. Oh, I can vouch for them, I can vouch for that one. Canvey goes find somewhere and sit down. Find Sarah, sit and relax. We're not discussing that your whole cover whole thing what you're doing in company. Go sit down somewhere. Relax. Another area, lead that thing. Because all of you have been funny thing. You had the opportunity to expose these guys. You said you would not expose them. You will keep it because the other men of God and call you behind closed door and you're settled in. Go sit down somewhere. Nobody going to listen to you. And like Henry Costa and all them vaging and all today for I can vag. You character person. You character person. All the funny men passing around. You character people. You get any integrity. You get any character to speak about religious issue. You get character. Punch your soul out. So we're saying this thing here because this is serious. This is not a joking thing. And again, like I said, like I wrote, I challenge George Weah to take in Hennessy SO, take in whatever you want to take in. Go try that nonsense. Let us see if it can work in the Islamic religion. It will never happen. Never. Because these are people that stands for principle. They understand the religion and they're bad by the religion. You don't carry that foolishness around there. You don't fool around with that. So let's get serious. Another thing I wanted to bring up, Mr. Kane, is this issue of Unity Party. So from what we are hearing, Unity Party is, I don't know if they're officially now, the party is officially dead.
How and why?
Mr. Kane, look, this case where the CPP has said that the Unity Party, based on our exit clause, cannot feed a candidate in the elections come 2023. The Unity Party went to the neck, and as we speak now, they put a hold on them. They can feed candidate. They don't know what's going on.
Don't be distracted by the comment because I want to know.
I'm trying to ping the right word. I don't know if they're stuck or this is a dead end they've reached. But the Unity Party has nowhere to go. So now this is the backup plan. This is the plan B, which I think is even worse. The plan B is they want to go independent. Okay, let me get in the good news. I beg you, go independent. United Party is on a suicidal mission. They should go independent. Because they cannot feed any candidate in the Unity Party name per the CPP framework document that ban them and keep them in the CPP. And that is just the truth. You know, they say something. They say, Mo Ali then say something, and I want to prove it to the Liberian people on the show. Mo Ali then says something that this framework, this thing, they just brought it in there. They just brought it in there, and Cummins then went, that part of the changes they made to what they call the document, to mess with the document. Let me read something to you quick to remind you about something before the whole framework document could come out. Let me read this. This was before the Senatorial election 2020. Let me read this. This is from Tai Wongbe, August 26, 2020, when Tai Wongbe signed the agreement. Listen to what Tai Wongbe states. Because before he signed on the CPP, you see, these things are historical, Mr. Kane. But let's read it for the benefit of the doubt. Look at what Tai Wongbe wrote. Let me show it to you. Let me see. It came the live, but I'll read it. Go on Tai Wongbe page and you'll see it there. Look at what Tai Wongbe wrote. August 26, 2020. I took the bold step to officially sign the CPP MOU yesterday, which was the 25th now, August 2020. Listen to what he says. This MOU is binding. Listen, and includes many clauses, including the fact that an aspirant who loses should not contest in the same election as an independent candidate or on another party's ticket, having lost the primary of the CPP. And everything, that particular part is in quotation. So what he was doing, he was quoting from the document of the CPP.
On the framework document.
On the framework document. So you see. So listen to this. NSA, it was not there. So where time we got it one from? This is August 2020, before the December 2020 election. Look, we're not crazy when we come here and say these guys are making up this thing. Let me read it for them. Integrity matters. We must endeavor to build our institution. I'm confident and clear that we will defeat anyone in the upcoming primary of the CPP. We will be the face of the CPP in Lima. Take it to the vote. We are ready. So you see where the contradiction is. They lie that this part of the framework document never existed. They just included it when they turned in the framework document. But when you look at this shows a complete picture. When you read that particular part, it's in quotation. So that means this part he was speaking about this binding part, was from the framework document. So how can we say today that this was not in the framework document? This is the assertion that more.
Won't it be easy? Don't you think it would be easier for Bwaka and normally George to just go to the court and just go prove that it wasn't there?
How do we prove it? Because it was there. But how do we prove it? It was there. So they can.
Yeah, but don't you think it would be easier for them to go there and just do that and just move?
No, it would not be easy. It would be hard, and that's why they are stuck. It will be hard. That's why they are stuck, because they can prove this. This is Mr. Kennedy. These are truth and facts. You can't deny it. This is on record. This is not something that I made up. This is not something that Tai Wongbe or somebody else made up. These are truth and facts, and so you can't just run away from them, Mr. Kennedy. So what Mo Ali and the Unity Party and the Liberty Party are asserting, guess what? It's not true. They are lying because the facts are here. This thing existed. This clause existed. You don't believe it? Go look on that web page. I will challenge you also to ask Ida Bongo where. When they gave her the framework document of the MOU when she signed it. That's why, as evidence by that, Tai Wongbe knew he couldn't run on the CPP or anything when he lost the primary. You know what he did? He had
as a matter of fact, let me say this. That was the purpose of signing the document in the first place.
Exactly.
For you to have some restriction. For you to not have that. But what happened is that majority of the people who failed or who did not win the primary decided to go independent. If they had their will, if they were not restricted by the framework document that they signed, they will have still gone under the name of their respective political parties.
Yep.
So this whole thing is like people being changing goalposts from one place to another as we go. So this is getting funny and getting very, 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 very interesting. So let me ask you one question, Steve.
They fall down inside.
As is right now, if when you say people say they want to go independent,
Yeah.
now one person want to go independent, or the group of people want to go independent. I don't understand that.
So based on the research we've conducted and the findings we have, they tie another rope on the neck. So there's Ben Ayue, which they're inconsequential. They're not important. They're not important in this matter because they've been running for years. They get less than 1%, so they're not important. No numbers. Let us sit down somewhere. But Baka don't want to go independent. What they want to do, they want to reach out to other parties.
Baka and who now? Say Baka won't go independent because group of people won't go independent.
The United Party, Senator Yomli Kanga Lawrence. I would say Senator Yomli Kanga Lawrence because that assertion that there's a Senator Yomli Kanga Lawrence Liberty Party, that's not true. That is not true.
No, we know they want Liberty Party. It's just that they disagree, but it's really one Liberty Party.
So they want, according to them, they want to go at a plan B. If the case, the NEC does not allow them to run, they will run as Joseph Boakai will run as independent, and automatically he will be coronated as the leader for that independent group, and they will bring. But here's the tricky part. Here's the tricky part, and here is where it gets sticky. And I want to urge my brothers and my sisters in Liberty Party, let me say Liberty Party, Unity Party. If Joseph Boakai should run independently, that tells us that first of all, he's not running on Unity Party. Anything he wins is not for Unity Party. So that means evidently you're screwed. Unity Party screw. So I will say to Unity Party partisan, it's time for you to start looking a different way to decide how you want your party to be represented. Either you come back, you lead Joseph Boakai and Mo Ali and Ami Moda, then let them be making that noise and giving us a hard time.
But let me ask you. Let me ask you.
And you bring the party part of CPP.
Let me ask you another question. I don't know. This whole independent thing doesn't make sense to me.
It don't make sense.
Joseph Boakai was the sitting vice president with the party name recognition, with all the resources as sitting government. Did not win. I'm talking about, some people kind of feel that sense of belonging to say, this is my party.
Exactly.
This is our party. Some people say, I've been United Party all my life. Some people say, I've been Democrat all my life. Some people say, I've been, you can see some old folks. This time a born citizen, even though they were born before the CDC. But today I'm a born citizen. You understand? So those born citizens and the born United Party people there, if you go independent, they will not find that sense of belonging.
Yeah.
To say, you know what, we belong to this party. This is our party. It's like you tend to lose more than to win. But why would they choose to go on that route?
Because let me tell you something. Because everything, and I said this on Friday, no disrespect, everything.
Because me, I know Joseph Boakai that born United Party.
Everything, JMB. No, you're not born United Party. You were born by Ellen. You were never United Party partisan.
You were not born United Party. Man spent 12 years vice president.
No, you're not born United Party partisan because if you're born
you for now say you born Liberty Party.
No, I was leaning to one Liberty Party. I leaning to the. I told you say I leaning to one my boy.
LeBron man, older man will look at he said the man 70-year-old man will look at he that born citizen.
I leaning to one my boy. I leaning to one. But Mr. Kanye, let me tell you why. Because let me say this, and this statement is it's not against anybody, but there are historical facts. Everything Joseph Boakai has touched or has led it has died. Or it needed some kind of form of resurrection. Anytime you leave something, it dies. Or it needs some kind of form of resurrection. To be honest with you, his records have seen it.
Starting with the Liberty Party and the whole issue of the CPP and everything else.
The group was 72nd, what they are right now.
77 or 77, I don't know.
We'll get to that part. But so, Mr. Cannon, because they are stuck, and they said we're going to leave the CPP and form this coalition, and it will be this, it will blossom, and it will be that, it will be that. Where? They not even have community meetings there? They don't have community meeting. They not get nothing going on. Just big muff. So la la. So they know what's going on. They're stuck. So I will say to my brothers in the United Party, so much better than Bishin. Y'all come back to the CPP, behave yourself, and line. Joseph Boakai then can go as independent. Let it go run after as independent. You will not even run. Joseph Boakai then running. You'll start making. We'll tell the thing before. Let Ami Moda and when him more Ali then go run as independent somewhere else. United Party, for example, you put yourself together and you just do your thing. Yeah.
So let me ask one more question, because I don't think we're going to take call, because I got a lot of questions to ask you.
Yeah, let's talk. We're going to take call today.
So all the fight the people then fought to work with the government. Then the government that they pay by the get to stop the people from running.
But I ain't. You remember when you said the government played them? They thought they were playing. They thought they were playing the opposition. Guess what? The government destabilized them, discombobulated them, and leave them hanging to dry. So that means the UAO. And I get good news. And I get good news. I get good news for the UAO and the Costa. I get good news for them. But we thought I want other news. I get good news for them. And they can play games. They've got a real game players. Mr. Kane, because what they've done, essentially, if there was any grain of chance for Joseph Newman Boakai to ever becoming president, they have messed it up. They have messed it up. There is in no way, shape, or form, even if Joseph Boakai were to run, he can win. Because what happens now?
So like Prince is saying now, so that means if Joseph Boakai decides to run as independent, that opens the door for other Unity Party people to stay in the CPP, because if Joseph Boakai is going to be independent, that means Unity Party people in the CPP will continue.
But come their convention, Mr. Kane, what we gotta even wrong? Come their convention, more likely so Joseph Boakai will not be elected to lead the party. So the whole Joseph Boakai loss, it will come to bear around the summer or after the summer. Joseph Boakai will not be elected because the Unity Party. I've written this on my post individually. The noise that coming in Unity Party, the boys that behind Joseph Boakai have to decide to fall in line, or they just got to go on their own. Because I'm telling you, the plot and the plan to get by Unity Party partisans who cares about the party. No partisan who care about the party. No partisan who want to see the party doing the right thing. Who does not want the party to die on Joseph Boakai's watch. Those guys are pissed off. Those guys are dissatisfied. All this lawsuit or whatever it is, they quagmire this noise that Unity Party find themselves in today. You know why? It's because of the decision Joseph Newman Boakai made. It's because of the pressure that he was put under, and the impression that Costa. Look at the people they said I can be telling them to make decision. They more Ali than the Costa, the Benin. Seriously? Look at the people there. Look at the people that are telling them to make decision. Look at the people there. So Joseph Newman Boakai right now, he's stuck. He can't go behind, he can't come in front, he's just right there. That's it. So until if the United Party people are serious for you, y'all take your party from this man, from the old man, and a bunch of people that don't know what they're doing, more Ali there. You have to retire them. You must spoil the party, y'all see.
Anyway, I don't know if you want to take calls, but because me, I got plenty of questions to ask.
No, but ask a question. You got one or two more questions. We'll ask them.
Okay, I got another question for you.
Yes.
So if Boakai decide to go as independent, I'm not sure Boakai will do that. I'm not sure. But assuming that Boakai decide to go as independent, so Nyomletu will follow to be independent?
Yes.
Vice President?
Yes.
But so what that would do with the idea of normally having some sort of a Liberty Party if she goes as independent on the Buakai. That means she finally or eventually giving up now the name Liberty Party or the attachment to Liberty Party.
Well,
Similar to JNB, because JNB go as independent, that means he will finally let go the idea, the attachment, the labor of Liberty Party.
well, and that's the biggest challenge, because there are two challenges, two things they got to do. The first thing is, even if they decide to go as independent, giving up the name, first of all, like you said earlier, would turn away supporters or people who are constituent members of those parties, both Liberty Party and Unity Party. But here's the biggest challenge. You have less than maybe 16 or 17 months to the election. Mr. Kane, how do you form a new coalition or an independent coalition and get people to buy into that ideology, get people to succumb to it, leaving the party to come and support that? What benefit do they get? What is the goal? What is the plan? What do we do? Let me put it that way. What do we do to convince people to come join that independent group? What do we do before the elections? How do we do it? Second of all, they don't have the resources. They don't have the resources. So this is Mr. Kane. This is one of the biggest political suicide journey that they are on. And you know what will happen? You know what happened eventually? You know what happened eventually? When serious-minded people who already have the name recognition, when serious-minded people who already are working and have established themselves as political party, these people will revert now to what they know, as opposed to what Wakai and Yombli and other people are trying to want to do to waste their time and get us a hard time. If I were them, smashing better than Bishing. That thing what they left in the head, that they left the CPP, they left in the head, they not leave legally, oh man, you'll come back. You'll start wasting your time. You're not going nowhere. You'll start wasting your time. It's not even possible. In the new election law now, Mr. Kane, the interesting part is all those small parties, then I used to be that the 0.1, the 0.1%, the 0.0%, the other percent. The new election law, they're not going to be there again. You got to be at least 2. So where you going with it? So you start wasting your time. You start wasting your time. Unless they want to tell us that the phone that say independent and support CDC, they will understand the level. Then they have no problem. That the right to identify or support CDC, then we get that one clear. But to say they will go and form independent and do that one, y'all go. Y'all go again. Say you can listen, y'all go. The same way we told you, don't leave the CPP. You don't do it like that. You don't do it like that. You say, you're not here. Today you go, you're stuck. You're just there now. You're just there. You can't go in, you can't come here. We're saying the same thing again. So, I mean, that's where they are. So the Unity Party, I'm sorry that they're in the kind of quagmire, Mr. Kane. I'm very sorry that they're in the kind of position. Because you
So let me ask you. So with all this going on right now, does that mean CDC got the green light?
CDC get we green light.
I'm just asking.
No, CDC got no green light. Let me tell you, Mr. Kane. Let me tell you something. Saturday, Natana Magi were in Bon County.
Anyway, just a second. Just maybe not to lose your thought, but let me just make this brief announcement. My people, your sorry, our platform, we're having some issue. Pretty much, thousands of our people are saying they're not getting the notification will come online. And I communicated with Facebook. They are working on it. There's something going on. We're not going to talk about that, but we are managing. We are making sure that we come on while we fix it. Those of you that will come on, please, the best you can do for us is to share the show all the time. Whether you the first, you the last, when you come on, please share the show because people are complaining. I don't even know if you go to my inbox and see people say, Sekou, you don't do show anymore? Oh, Sekou, we don't see your show. And some people go to SKTV inbox that they are not getting notification that we are on. Sometimes they have to go searching before they can see it. I don't know what's going on, but we are working on it. Hopefully, it will be fixed sooner rather than later. So, Steve, I don't want to say that why people are here. I don't want to. I don't want to, miss the opportunity. So that everybody who will come on the show, please try to share it. Yeah, people can see
Yep.
it. People don't even know that we're on. Very few people can see it, but it will be fine. Go ahead, Steve. I'm sorry. I didn't want to forget.
Well, Mr. Kane, to be honest with you, this government has no chance. If Nathaniel McGill started was in Bon County and he did something very strange, unconstitutional, but we know that they are respecters of the law. So that one, and that's something that we need to even remind him of. But he did something that was a little strange because Nathaniel McGill, quote unquote, they're already starting the campaign. They started a long time ago. Some parts of Monrovia, you see the LIPO, you see we are 2023 or whatever it is. But there are a lot of things that are happening. And in the next few months or the next few days or weeks, apart from this money laundering case that this guy was arrested, this Sheikh guy, on the 20th, apart from that, there are some things that are going to happen. And some of these things that are about to happen will change the paradigm, will shift things. Now, let me say this. President George Weah might not run. I use the word might not.
How many times we have said that?
President George Weah might not run. Watch and see. There are some things that these guys don't understand, Mr. Kane. There's some things that these guys don't know. And I will say this to my brothers and my sisters in the CDC. Let me say this to you. Maybe we said it here before, you're not believing. If you woke up in the morning, your children don't have food to eat, and you come on Facebook because somebody from the party send you $1 on your card, on your stuff, and you become a revolutionary where you only go to defend and you go to destabilize the opposition. We destabilize the opposition. We do that, and you can't write other people post. Then you turn off your phone because you want $1 to finish. You got to save it again. When somebody call you or text you and say, "My man, they ordered they're attacking Nathaniel McGill," then you go there, you respond, and you take a picture, you send it to them. Let me say this to your President George Weah will leave your hanging dry. He will seek himself. Let me tell you today, he will walk away and leave the party hanging. You'll watch and see. You'll watch and see. He will walk away and leave the party hanging. But that will 100% confirm his running or not running after the summer. By that time, something in that shift. Some serious noise not being in the town. Some very serious noise not being in the town. You'll watch and see. It's going to get very interesting. The pressure will be mounted. You ain't see no pressure here. You think that Musa Dean Serena Sifa playing that Kaka Leka they dancing. You think they just dancing because they want dancing? How about no having low? They know what's up. They know what thing going on behind close door. You go out like you. They know what thing going on. But we'll leave it as that because that one we're talking other news. In other news we discuss that one. Let it be running around.
So for some reason, people who are not seeing the page. Mm-hmm. What I'm going to do, I'm going to actually they recommended a few things for me to do. Facebook people, and one of it would be to copy the link of the page and paste it on my page, on my personal page, so that people can click on it and click follow, like and follow. And besides, anyway, the rest of that one, we can talk about that one behind the scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, they recommend a lot of stuff to me. So, we'll see what happens so that everybody can get a notification. I think if you are here and you know being getting it, please go back and check on SKTV and then click on follow. And then you can click on see first. That means see first mean whenever we come on every time, you'll be the first to see it. So
Okay.
Steve,
Yeah.
I think we gotta go.
Yeah, we can run for today. What? Let me give the announcement, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being on. Thank you. We know that we're working with Facebook and we're working with other people. Please, when you get a notification, line up for this weekend. We have few people lining up. We have few people lining up for the weekend. We have Councillor Elisha too. We also have Professor Emmanuel Clark. Professor Emmanuel Clark, as you may recall.
That name's sound familiar.
Yeah, the guy who wrote that famous book.
Hold on. Is this Emmanuel Clark that used to be in North Carolina?
Emmanuel Clark. So we're confirmed.
You know how I got to. I got to remember that name.
No.
We used to have the listserv. Anyway, maybe it's somebody that I'm familiar with.
Dahim. So we're expecting, hopefully for the weekend, these guests to come on. We'll let you know in subsequent time by Thursday. We'll let you know the times they will be on, or the days, especially. But we'll be on Thursday. We'll try to follow through with that case with Sheck to bring it to you. Other news. They did arrest him as a
long time never seen Duke. I just saw his writing. Duke, what's up, man?
Duke that? Okay. Duke.
Yeah. Long. It has been a while. I never seen him. I don't know whether he can still do show. But
no, he can still do show. I think he got a different page now.
I can enjoy you sometimes.
No, he got a different page. Maybe that's why you haven't been getting the signal.
I can enjoy sometimes, but I can see him. Yeah.
So
for the announcement, we gotta go.
So for the announcements, we'll be on. Please mark your calendar for May 8th. Jawan Gonglo will be our guest.
Oh, Jawan Gonglo?
Yeah, for May 8th. He will be our guest. So mark your calendar. And we'll also have some top politicians lined up. We're in talk with, we're trying to get Professor Larry Topa. You know, when Professor Larry Topa went on the show, I can't talk too much. I gotta slow down because I'm gonna get in trouble. Because you were dealing with me after this.
I know.
So ladies and gentlemen, please, Thursday will be on. If something happens before Thursday, definitely will show up, as you already are aware. But please share the show. We're working on ensuring that the show reaches our audience and our people and others as well. But it's been very challenging lately since they try to hack the show over I don't know when. Just today, give me some kind of, I got a text message from somebody that I don't know from anywhere to send me a link. Oh, I saw sending link. Yeah, you were not on that level. Why sending link? I don't even sending your link there. You'll be wasting your time. You send a link, I will delete it. I will just block you. Don't send me a link. I ain't just saying.
Let me tell you guys the new thing. On the WhatsApp. The WhatsApp. Let me tell you on the WhatsApp number that is for the show. I've seen more than 20 or 40 Indian people number writing me, and sometimes the screenshot the page when you guys were on. I was not on. The screenshot the page. So they say, "Oh, we can help you grow your viewership." Can you imagine? Someone don't know what they start with 008 something. Funny number there. Oh, we can help you do this. We will send you a link. You do this. The other ones are telling me we will pay you $750 a day to post our commercial on your page. All in a process of trying to hack the page. They have tried. They hire professional hackers some from Mississippi, another time from London, to hack our page, to take down our page. But so long you don't kill us, we will go and open another page again. The simple will follow us.
I know.
Platforms is not a platform. Platforms are people. I don't know why I can't understand that. We'll leave it as Steve.
Yeah, so please follow up with a story with we'll follow up with a story with Representative Kuku Dennis Roslin. Very concerning. We'll try to follow up with that story and try to make contact. But let's keep on our prayers, and if some of you know her, because this is very concerning, to be very honest. It's very, very concerning. It's very concerning. Want to say thank you. Thank you for sticking and staying with us. Let's have a good week. Let's stay out of trouble. And some of you will not get friends. You'll go find your friend there. Find a friend like me. That's how we'll leave you. Have a good week. Happy new week. Stay blessed. Stay out of trouble. And let's make this happen.
Lump.
Find a friend like me. Find a friend like me. If you not want betrayer, find a friend like me. Find a friend like me. Find a friend like me. If you not want betrayer, find a friend like me.
Bombe oh, find a friend like me. Bombe jene oh, find a friend like me. Bombe, find a friend like me. Bombe jene oh, find a friend like me.
Hey, see bestie, your bestie not sweet like my bestie. Your bestie la bestie, find a friend like me.
I say, see bestie wanting to wealthy. Find a friend like me. I hear them say, they want me go, I say,